These are very, very live. And we are now, I think, in a right place. Hello, Instagram friends. Hello, Facebook Live friends. Are we good now, cameraman? Okay, so we're back. We're up and running. And we're going to just start like the other one never happened. But again, this is live, so we do apologize in advance. So if my hair looks out of place or anything, just send me a Facebook. So here we are back today with longtime friend of JB Prince, former customer, now, well, not former, I guess the current customer. And also,
I have to leave? We haven't even started.
And now also a vendor, Chef Angelo Sosa, who is doing something new for you, very new for you. Which
super new.
Super new.
Right?
So after his very, very storied career here in New York, he's done lots of things. You said Top Chef twice.
Top Chef twice. Gray hair is more than twice.
Okay.
Work with Jean-Georges. And really, working for Jean-Georges, that's the whole impetus of the brand. AOS, Art of Simplicity.
Awesome. So to jump in just a little bit further, Chef has now introduced a very, very, very well-crafted, aesthetically beautiful, super duper line of aprons. And that's why he's really here today, because this is new products here at JB Prince. Because cameras failed a moment ago, I totally forgot to introduce myself. Tim Music CEO, again, Chef Angelo Sosa. And here we go. Why aprons?
I like to start with a high five.
I'm sorry. I'm so out of sorts.
Could you be a gentleman and give me a high five, dude?
Clearly not. Clearly not. So, I guess the first question for me is, after all the craziness in the kitchen,
Yes.
why aprons?
Well, let's see. 20 years in the kitchen. I worked with Jean-Georges for 4 of those 20 years. And so I am a chef. You know, I've been through the ranks, not staging, like literally behind the kitchen. I knew Jean-Georges as a chef, as a businessman, you know, making the asperge morale and him like, you know, faster, faster, simplicity, simplicity. And he's a genius, and he's always, his mantra, and he would whisper in the kitchen, you know, simplicity is elegance, less is more. So as a chef, I wanted to take that mindset, those philosophies, and do the things that I love. 1 is food, and 2 is style. So I created a brand, AOS, Art of Simplicity. As a chef wants to work, and as you want to work with the best brands in the world, and chefs want to work with the best ingredients, I want to work with the best fabrics. You know, this is, I mean, just look at this, midnight blue. This is our pastry line, midnight blue with burnt orange. All of our fabrics the majority of our fabrics are Turkish denim, so we want to work with the best. They're all hand stitched, double stitched, right? So this is like straight up quality, man. Like you could take this home and use this as a hammock next summer.
So just to give you guys a little bit of a tidbit, Turkish denim, and correct me if I'm wrong,
denim
is basically a denim material and has a little stretch in it, so that speaks to its comfort. Is that fair to say?
Well, this is a perfect point, because when you're in the kitchen, when you're at home or in a professional kitchen, not only is it hot, so our aprons are lighter than a typical apron, but 2, the stretch allows you to move and groove. And if you do a little salsa or merengue, you can just get in there too.
Awesome, awesome, yeah. So I mean, it's I think an important part. And if any of you young cooks or aspiring chefs are out there listening, I think you made some really, really important points. It's a little bit off the side here, but Chef worked with someone, he was mentored for 4 years, guys, 4 years by one of the best in the business. So be patient. This doesn't always all happen overnight. Right. It's an amazing business, but you have to work with it and not against it. There is definitely rules, and you'll figure that out. But that's another Facebook Live.
Well, I love that. Can we just dive a little bit deeper into this?
Sure, shoot.
It just like anything in life, it's determination, it's commitment, it's belief. You know, I never thought I'd be designing this. I knew it was a passion, but one day it just happened, and I just went with it. And I'm learning, you know. Those of you who don't know, prior to this, I mean, for me, this is like Yoda. He's the guru. You know, he's the Buddha for me, and you're just wisdom. You're just wisdom for me, so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And just so you guys know, not to be patting myself on the back, I started in New York City as a line cook as well, so I kind of sort of get it a little bit. But let's get back to why we're really here, which is AOS and your awesome aprons.
That's right.
I think in addition, and maybe you can fill in some of the blanks here, in addition to the quality and the aesthetic, I mean, to speak to the aesthetic, there's a very, very cool color palette that you can see here. There's a little bit more of a range. Even though we use the word denim, you can see we have like a French blue, if you will. This awesome black one, which I think is super duper elegant, has a little bit of a shine to it, even in a coating. Is that right?
That's right. And let me talk about this. This is so dope. So not only does it have a coating, this is a 100% stain guard. I mean, I wish I had some ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, whatever.
My carpet doesn't.
Throw something at me. You know, hey, you're at home, just throw something at us. You can throw anything at this, because we're all about the environment well, and we want this, you know, not only did I work in the kitchens for 20 years, but it has to have a functionality. So anything on this, just take water, literally just take water, wash it off, and no joke, it doesn't take the odor, and the stain is removed.
So that's very cool. That's specific to the black, just so you
That's
guys
right.
are aware of that. We have this very, very cool gray.
Ooh.
Again,
That's sexy, huh?
yeah, it's just an awesome, awesome fabric. Again, you see, I hope you guys are seeing kind of the stretch here. One of the things, other things I kind of wanted to point out, and I think is kind of sort of brilliant, gets missed in some other kind of more generic aprons out there, is that chef went through the trouble of weighting the corners. Can you see that, cameraman? So that means that when you put this thing on, that it lays right. It's not kind of bunching up around your knees.
That's right.
It doesn't look frazzled,
That's
if
right.
you will, right? It's supposed to rest right to the corners.
100%, because how many times are you walking in the kitchen or even in the dining room and the apron is just bunching up and going in the middle, versus if it's weighed down on the edges, it pulls to the sides. And I also want to show you, really, I just think it's awesome, and for all those technical chefs out there, you're going to appreciate this. A lot of aprons have just that one stitch. This, I mean, look at that, how meticulous it is. This is a double stitch, and that's just you know, longevity. So our aprons are not going to, you know, good for them. They're going to last a long time.
Sure,
which is
fair
the
enough.
point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure. And I think other thing that's, you know, kind of sort of good to point out in all of those things is those, you know, the devil's in the details for all you executive chef types out there that spend some time in the dining room. You definitely want to have a look about it. I think the color palette they have white, which
Yeah.
is amazing. I know it's like some people cringe, oh my God, white aprons, but this is this is the only thing there was for a very, very long time,
That's
right?
right.
This is as classic as it gets. For all you bakery types who are working with a lot of flour, right? This is kind of maybe sort of where you want to be, so you don't look dusty. I don't know any other way to say it. But you know, maybe we should do like a little bit of a spread.
Yeah, I
here.
love that. You hold your part,
Yeah.
and I'll hold my part.
So we got the twin slash pockets in the
Exactly.
front, right? So it's a little bit easier to get your hands in. I'm going to do a little bit of a self-promotion and, you know, put your JB Prince Sharpie up in there. You have the Sharpie pocket. Maybe it's for tweezers or something to that effect. Your moleskin notebook, your iPhone, whatever it is that you want to have in there.
You know what's awesome? Pull on your side, let me pull on my side. I mean, just, you can see
Oh,
that
there you go.
stretch. So that's going to really just not only hug your body, but when you're working in the kitchen, that's just going to move with you and work with your body and complement what you're doing. One thing I'd really love to touch upon is we're whimsical people. We're creative people. We love just being connected to creativity. We wanted to have fun with the names and really tie that into, like, you know, who we are as a company. This is, you know, and pay homage to, really, this is the first line, the visionaries of our industry, right? So Alice Waters, you know, impeccable at Chez Panisse for the ingredients. So this is our Alice Blue Waters, okay? It's all about the ingredient. Escoffier, you know, the Escoffier, the father of French cooking. So this is, it's black on black, so the idea here, and just, this is kind of humorous, I'd like to think, but it's called Escoffier's Night. So the idea was, after a 16-hour shift, you know, in Escoffier's restaurant, he went out and had a couple too many beers and had a rough night. So that was the idea. Gray Coon's inspiration here. Gray's Gastronomy. You know, beautiful cappuccino stitching. This one fits like a suit, right? You know, Marco Pure White. He's infamous for the striped apron, black and white apron. We wanted to do a little bit more elevated version. This is the Marco Pure White. Here, one of my favorites, and this is so dope because we are a company with a cause. We believe in giving back. 5% of the proceeds do go to cancer year-round. And this is called our Jacques Pink Pink. And if you see here, look at that. When we talk about style in the kitchen, you know, what we're making is sexy. The plates are sexy. The food is sexy. The ingredients are sexy. You know, a beautiful herringbone. You see that detail?
I'm not sure if the camera's picking up on that, but this one does have, yeah, like, we can roll our R's and try and look for our herringbone.
You're sweating there. You're sweating there.
Tim almost fell.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. No. So yeah, it's something very.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get this. Okay, we're good. We're good.
So it just looks like a solid pink Emperor here, but this is something I think that gets missed in a lot of fabric. Is it also has texture. So in addition to just having color, it has texture, which is really what makes denim interesting, right? That it's not only just a blue color, as it was just blue and it laid on you, it would look like sweatpants. And then last but not least.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is our pastry line. This one's a little bit shorter. So first and foremost, we could these are a little bit longer. This one is shorter, 6 inches shorter. This is a beautiful midnight blue, and this is called our Saint Francois Lavaran. He is a person who created the first real French culinary pastry cookbook. So we wanted to honor him with a beautiful burnt orange stitching.
So it's awesome that you have some different. I guess if you want to be fancy, the word ergonomics have some different heights and lengths. There are different people, comes in different shapes and sizes. I think that's evident by you and I standing together.
What do you mean by that? What are you trying to say?
I think the camera speaks for itself. But past that, maybe even for your front of the house types, they don't necessarily need something quite as long. And you're just going for, again, a very specific look in addition to your executive chef types that have to be out there in the kitchen. You also have a wait staff, you have a bar staff, you have bussers, you have runners, however you want to label them. It gives you yet another option or another layer to distinguish yourself in this very, very competitive market. Yeah. So I think Chef was kind of sort of going down the road. We're really not there yet. But if there is some custom work or some volume or some place that you want to be, maybe a color or an inspiration you have in mind, give us a call, shoot us an email. We can probably work something out. We don't have all the details, but we can definitely get there for you. Are we missing anything?
I really love what you're saying because the front of the house, think about these restaurants that are opening. They're just absolutely gorgeous and the food is impeccable. The wine, they're like so... the sommeliers are curating the wine list. Why stop, the uniform? Let's accentuate the experience. It shouldn't stop there. So we want to be stylish in your restaurant, in your kitchen. And two, I think it's important too, how many, you were a cook, I was a cook, working long hours, right? Like when you have an apron or a chef jacket and it gets all,
sure.
what is it, like sandpaper, right?
Yeah.
That's why
like
it's
rug
important.
burn on your
exactly,
neck.
Rug burn on my neck. Okay, that's also was very important to us. So the strap is really pivotal in that and protecting your neck from the rug burn.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
And
So
that's it.
How about one other thing,
Shoot.
Angelo? How's it feel to be in this actual store with your aprons, one of the iconic, culinary meccas, if you will, in New York City?
That's the great and powerful Oz, in case anyone is curious. That's just a random voice we have in here.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. So I was maybe 21, 22 when I started Jean Georges. So I was shopping here, and as an aspiring chef and wanting to be the best, and I came here. So like this is where it's at. So you're really the foundation. It's like we're almost growing together. So it's kind of like, and then my cookbook, when I launched that, I came here, you had me in here. But now it's kind of like you're the best. So just to be even at that level is just humbling for you to allow us to come in here. So I just want to say thank you, really.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the acknowledgement. It's for us, again, you as a young line cook, an older experienced chef, whoever you may be, we don't exist without you guys. It's important for us to have feedback, to have a conversation. I try to end all these by saying we love you guys, and that's really as sincere as I can be. I've had 18 wonderful years in this business. I hope to have a lot more. So, thank you very much. This is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
And again, we have been lazy this summer. We haven't done nearly as many Facebook Lives as we would like to, but I think you understand, excuse me, that we are trying to increase, get you as much information as possible. And the reason is that it's a big country. There's a lot of us out there, a lot of good chefs, a lot of good cooks. We want to have a dialogue with you guys. Send us questions, ask us things, politely criticize us when necessary. Let us know if we're doing anything wrong when we're wrong, because that's how we get better, and that's how we remain par excellent. So again, Thank you. We love you guys.
Awesome.
Until next week.
Thank you.
See you.
Ciao.
Later. Bye-bye now.
Oh, perfect.